Well, I didn't think I'd be using this one again, given that I finished my 10th Doctor reviews. Anyways, so hello there YouTube and welcome to a special edition video. So it's December and I've reviewed all the Christmas specials on my channel. I even ranked them all up last year, so I thought why not do another ranking video and this time rank up specials from each Doctor who did the specials. So in this one I'll be ranking the 10th Doctor Christmas specials. So any specials like, you know, the Easter special, Planet of the Dead and the Waters of Mars, I guess they can have an honourable mention, but they won't be properly included in this list. These are just purely Christmas specials that aired on Christmas. And yeah, we had the End of Time in New Year, but I still consider that part of a Christmas special. So, let us begin. Now, this is all my personal opinion. No one has to agree with it. If you have your own if you rank these by yourself, do let me know in the comments. So, let's do it. So, coming in at number 5, we have The Next Doctor. Now, when I saw this one previewed, and we saw that clip of David Morrissey saying he's the Doctor, I knew that he was not the Doctor. He wasn't the Next Doctor. And the way the episode was titled, The Next Doctor, I'm thinking, yeah, is this really the Next Doctor? Because David Tennant did say around that time that he was leaving the show after these specials he's done. And so I knew that he wasn't going to be the Doctor, David Morrissey. But he did a great job playing Jackson Lake, who thought he was the Doctor when he had the Doctor's memories in him in that biostamp thing from the Cybermen. I also like that they brought the Cybermen back after a 2-year hiatus that we'd not seen them. You know, we had a massive finale with the Daleks, and then Christmas time we got the return of the Cybermen. We saw the Cyber Controller, and, you know, the Cybermen in Victorian London. And also the place where the Cybermen's factory, their lair were, that was actually the Torchwood hub. You know, they weren't using that at the time, so they thought, let's use it to make a Doctor Who episode. You know, just a little trivia there for you. I thought the story, the big finale to the Cyber King, when it just turned out to be a big giant robotic Cyberman factory, I thought that was a bit tacky. You know, and the way the Doctor, you know, just diminished that, you know, sent it into space where it can break apart. Okay, but I still love the performance David Tennant gave and David Morrissey as Jackson Lake, and it was, I like the friendship that formed between them two in this episode. I really did. It's like, and Jackson Lake even managed to change his mind, which not a lot of people can do. For Christmas dinner. But I thought this was an okay Christmas special, and it definitely had all that Christmas vibes. But for me, it's just, I've got to start somewhere. Number 4, it is The End of Time. So, the last story of David Tennant's Doctor. Now, the first half I thought was great. The whole he will knock 4 times, the Master returning. I loved it. I loved that the Master came back, and I loved that big cliffhanger at the end of part 1 when it turns out, the narrator was the Time Lord President, and then he turned out to be Rassilon. I was actually quite surprised and overjoyed to see that he was Rassilon. They brought back another evil Time Lord. But part 2, I feel were a little rushed, and there was a lot more CGI in there. They were very over-reliant on the CG. And then the final act where, after David Tennant's Doctor makes the ultimate sacrifice to save Wilf and him being the 4 knocks, I feel that the last half an hour kind of dragged on. I mean, yeah, I thought it was nice and sweet that he was bidding farewell to all the companions he'd known in that life. And, how he saw Rose one last time before she knew him. But I just feel the regeneration, although it was inevitable, it's like the Doctor didn't want to do it. I don't want to go and all that. At the time when I first watched this on New Year's Day 2010 and Christmas Day 2009, I was actually enjoying it, but I also thought it was sad. I will admit I actually shedded a little tear when the Doctor had to regenerate, and it was a sad moment. But looking at it now, 10 years on, I feel that it did kind of drag on a bit. And the Doctor was being a bit stubborn. He was foretold this, it was foreshadowed, and he wouldn't accept it. But looking at it now, Moffat actually claimed that this was his final regeneration in that cycle, given that he regenerated once and kept the same face and what have you. But yeah, I mean, David Tennant did a great performance, and I feel Russell T Davies's writing was starting to get a bit, stale-ish, because I mean, Russell, he knew that it was time for him to move on because he thought he was going to start getting a bit predictable and that. So, I'm kind of glad that he decided he knew it was time to move on, and David was ready to move on. But I just feel that the finale was a bit of a drag on, if I'm being honest. Part 1 was great. Part 2, not too great, but it's an okay serial. I mean, I don't get sad watching it now, but at that time, it really tug up my heartstrings. Number 3 is The Runaway Bride, the second Christmas special. So Christmas Day, after watching this heartbreaking finale of the Doctor and Rose having to part ways, Catherine Tate all of a sudden appeared at the very end, and I was like, what? And then it continues straight on in The Runaway Bride, and yeah, Catherine Tate as Donna Noble. She delivered a lot of comic relief in that and was very energetic and very fun to watch, especially with her being known for her comedy sketch show at that time. And she looked like a delight to work with, and she even came back in series 4 as a full-time regular, which I loved. And she just was, she was a show stealer. I gotta admit that. I also thought David Tennant was brilliant as the Doctor, but you know that he was still hurting from the loss of Rose, and I think I was too, because Rose was gone. I mean, she wasn't dead; she was in a parallel Earth, but still unable to be with the Doctor again. But I still thought Catherine Tate was a great guest star. And I am glad they brought her back, because she had such a great friendship with the 10th Doctor. And then there was the Robot Santas. I like that they brought them back. And then there was the Rachnos Queen. Now, the Rachnos Queen, I did like that they actually had practical effects for that. There was no CGI on there with the Rachnos Queen. It was all puppetry and naturally, practically done, and I like that. I like that they actually did something practical with that effect, and how she looks spider-like. They reused the actress again in series 10 in The Empress of Mars as the Ice Warrior Queen. But yeah, I thought this was a fairly decent Christmas special. I mean, it still had the holiday themes going on it. Okay, so only 2 more left. At number 2 is the Christmas Invasion. So the one that started it all. The one that that became over a 12-year tradition for Doctor Who, the first Christmas special. So the show had been revived in the spring, and we got the ninth Doctor, and after one series he regenerated, and for us we were a whole new generation that didn't know what regeneration was, and it explained why the actors changed all the time. I loved that, I mean, despite Christopher Eccleston going, I thought David Tennant was slightly better and won me over with his charms in the final act of the episode. Now, the Doctor is asleep and in his post-regenerative state through a majority of this episode, so a lot of it is on to Rose, who's also trying to process this whole thing with the Doctor, and she doesn't really know what to do where there's this whole invasion with the Cigarettes. I thought the Cigarettes looked great too, and we got Unit in there too, and yeah, and then the Doctor. The second David Tennant walked out of them doors, fully recovered from his regeneration, in his pajamas. Well, not his pajamas, but in pajamas, saying, "Did you miss me?" I thought, okay, and then he just came on and stole the show and was all there, fully recovered as the Doctor, and fought the Cigarettes leader, and was just, David Tennant. At this point, the 10th Doctor, he was slowly coming in there, and then at the end when he changed into the now iconic brown suit and the sneakers and the trench coat, I thought, now he's the Doctor. And that idea for his costume came from Parkinson. When Jamie Oliver was on the chat show and he was wearing a suit and sneakers, David Tennant thought, he's wearing a suit and sneakers, why not have that as a look? So they thought, oh yeah, that's a good idea. So that's how the 10th Doctor image became, and the trench coat. Yeah, at that point I just loved the ending when David Tennant finally became the Doctor and was ready for a new Doctor. So yeah, I like that started it all. I mean, we had a Christmas episode in series 1 which was called The Unquiet Dead, but that was set around Christmas, but not a Christmas episode. And number 1, it is Voyage and the Damned. So the 3rd Christmas special. So, you know, we had already 2 great Christmas specials from David Tennant, and after series 3 ended, when the TARDIS crashed into that Titanic, after time freeze, then he saw the 5th Doctor, which we saw in the episode, but then in a Children in Need special we see time freeze and what have you. Anyway, yeah, after quickly resolving that, you know, repairing the TARDIS and then going on board the Titanic, he discovered that the Titanic, it was Christmas time, and the Titanic never voyaged at Christmas, it was in April, but the Doctor soon discovered that it was a massive spaceship replicating the Titanic. So I like that we got robot angels in this, the heavenly hosts. It made a change from the robot Santas we had. We also had Kylie Minogue in this as Astrid Peth. And we got, you know, the villain Max Capricorn. Yeah, this was a decent Christmas episode, and it actually truly felt Christmassy to me. It had a Christmas party going on, it had Christmas songs playing. To me, this was, you know, the best Christmas special from the 10th Doctor. Plus, they stretched it out from 1 hour to 1 hour and 15 minutes. Excuse me. So, for that, I really loved Voyage of the Damned, and it was a great Christmas episode. And it even paid tribute to Verity Lambert, who had passed away that year in 2007, which I thought was a nice touch. And like I say, David Tennant was brilliant as the Doctor. And Astrid, if we'd only seen her more, but it was just not meant to be. So yeah, that's it then. That's all the Christmas specials of the 10th Doctor ranked. So next time I'll be doing a video like this, it'll be on the 11th Doctor, on their Christmas and his Christmas specials. So let me know, do you agree with this list? Do share down in the comments. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, share with your friends, and feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and to hit that notification bell. I've been Davros the Whovian, and this has been a ranking on the 10th Doctor's Christmas specials. So until next time, run for your life. Or as the 10th Doctor said, Allons-y!